Stream is up and running. Good morning, everybody. YouTube, Discord, hello. Hope you guys are ready for a great trading day. We'll find some pre-market setups. Right off the bat, I did want to look at oil because oil didn't give us a long position entry yesterday. Where was it? Here's our market open. Yeah, off this key level a few times. It did take out previous day high already, and it's near this key level lower high right here that I was looking at. I'm gonna make this a different color, so I know it's important. We'll make it like an orange, and let's do our previous day high and low. Previous day high has been taken out. Previous day low is holding at the moment, and our open price, right? Because that gives us an idea of direction and trend. If we're above opening price or taking out previous day high, then we're looking for longs. If we are below opening price, then we are in a red day. We'd look for bears. And just very simple, guys. Let's check the 4 hour. I see a bit of a 4 hour demand zone right here, and that makes me think perhaps we might want to roll back into that. I am going to delete, we have a blue zone there. Deleting that. Let's see. Phone's ringing, but the charts are calling. Haha. Alright, let's see. So again, 4 hour demand right here. We held a 45-minute demand over there. So let's see if we have any other 45 or 90-minute or even hourly demand zones we could use for a long position on crude today. A 2 hour demand right here, and that's right above that previous day low. So if we could manage to pull back here, just want to see who's leaving a voicemail. No. Alright, so we got a demand zone right here on the 2 hour time frame on crude oil. So this is around 66.63. So we're going to do D2 hour, and we're also going to check Bookmap too and see if Bookmap has anything of interest. 67 even. Okay. 66.74. That's closer to our demand zone. And then we have some price levels to the upside. 67.55, 67.99. So I am thinking for bulls today on crude oil. We're going to have to see. We don't have much volume to go off of right now. So we're really going to have to be patient on that. Let the chart spread out a bit more. We'll find, let's see, a 15-minute. See if we have any demand zones that we could be using as an entry. We did create one right here that we held for the moment. So if we do retest this area, I might look for a long position. Stop loss this pivot low right here. Would look for us to go to new high a day. So I'm going to add an alert here. We're going to keep an eye on this for crude oil. We're going to mark this out. This is a 15-minute demand zone. Not the strongest of demand zones because we see that the rally wasn't so much short-lived. We had a rally and some continuation, but it wasn't strong. This rally didn't bring us to the recent pivot up here. I'm going to delete this as a broken supply zone, no longer relevant. This blue zone's broken too, no longer relevant. Let's see, 30-minute. I'd like to see, so you see these lower wicks over here? All these wicks, really, lower wicks, upper wicks. This is a point of consolidation, so I really wanted to see if I could find a demand zone there, but it's not looking like I'm going to find one. No, not much demand, supply or demand-wise there. Just a lot of wicks. Maybe this big one right here. But guys, if we're comparing this basing candle to the move afterwards, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I'm just not. Now this zone, on the other hand, how we came off of it, this might be lining up, and I'll be keeping an eye on this. We'll see how crude oil does reflect on Bookmap on the order flow when we hit 67.24. Right down here, 67.24. Let's take a look at gold now, see if gold is doing anything for us. Take a look at the previous day high and low. Okay, gold on that uptrend. I said on Futures Fever yesterday that I would expect gold to continue if we could break and close above this demand zone, which is exactly what we did. Why is Bookmap is being so weird for me right now? Ever since I updated it. I don't even have any add-ons running on it. Like, come on now. Trade Map Lite, that's what I like to use for ES. It just cleans up the charts a little bit. Let's see. Could delete the data low, data high. Delete this zone, delete this zone. Let's take a look at our previous day high and low one more time. Open price and previous day low and previous day high. Okay, already took out previous day high on gold too. So gold and oil, we're looking for longs on gold and oil today. YouTube, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. Do appreciate you guys for tuning in as well. 3 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour. A little bit of a 1 hour demand zone here. Nothing too crazy, but we are going to mark it out. Now, something I'd rather look for. Oh, here we go. This is a much better looking demand zone. Even though it's a bigger zone, we have our basing near a previous pivot low, and we have our rally and some continuation. This is a much better zone. So we're going to mark this out as a demand D 1 hour, right? 1 hour time frame. Now, I do see we had another demand zone here that we did not touch. Okay, so I'm going to be aware of that. I'm going to be cautious of that. Let's delete this zone right here. This zone right here. Just cleaning up the charts a little bit. Let's see. So 30-minute and 15-minute. I'm looking for any possible zones. What did we say this one was, an hourly right here? So we'll mark it out as an hourly anyways, just so we're aware of the zone, because we might not pull back all the way to 29.23. Let's take a look at Bookmap real quick and see on gold any price levels. Well, I see 29.49, very strong passive buyer. And that's sort of it. Other than that, targets to the upside. Same with crude oil, right? So that's what we're looking for today. A lot of volume. Look, this keeps cloud data time out. Recent historical chart data loading incomplete. Only local data was... See, I don't... Why? Is it like messing up my volume? Like, what's going on?
I've been getting the same thing this morning.
Okay, alright. Not good. I'm not glad we're both dealing with the Bookmap problem. But I'm glad I'm not alone, because that might just be something on their side then. Okay. Okay, oil, gold. Now let's check out the ES and NQ. Alright, so let's get rid of yesterday's orb. Let's get our opening price is... We're like trading on it. Pretty sure it's the lower price. Let's see. No, it's the higher price. But we're right near that open price right now. This is no longer our gap fill. Previous day high is up here. Previous day low is down here. And if we're looking at our trend, bearish. So that's what we're going to be looking for today. Let's see. On ES, we're running through our time frames. And as much as I'd like to look for some type of short position, I'm not seeing any new supply zones formed here. Let's check the 30-minute time frame. Let's see. I'll keep this supply zone in this blue area for now, because it looks like it's the strongest, most recent area. My gremlins are loose. Oh, that's funny, man. Check the 15-minute time frame. Perfect. Here we go. So 15-minute demand zone right here. And we already started holding this pre-market. So I really like this zone for a couple of reasons, guys. And one of the main reasons is a lot of people are going to be feeling bearish when we push into it, which is understandable. That is the direction of the market lately. However, when a lot of people are looking for a particular move, we don't get it. We get the opposite of it, right? We usually need that retail to get the volume to go the opposite direction. So I'm going to add my alert there. I see pre-market we started holding. We do have a pre-market low for some sell side liquidity around 55.59. We're going to mark that out too as sell side liquidity. And that's sort of what we're waiting on right now. Let's check ES on Bookmap. So what do we have? 55.80. 55.80 is not in that demand zone. Do we have any other price levels a little lower? 55.50, that's in the demand zone, and that's right below the sell side liquidity. It did just print out about, let's see, 37, about 7 minutes or so. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. So yeah, 15-minute. All I'm seeing supply demand wise, is this demand zone. You know what we can do is we could mark this out as a new 15-minute supply zone. And I'm going to keep it blue so I recognize it is a new zone within this older zone. And we're going to do S 15 minutes because it's a 15-minute supply. This was also a 15-minute supply, but look how we spiked through it. Now, this spike was created by a data move, right? This was CPI. Let's see. So here's our open price. Let's find our gap fill now. Go to the 30-minute time frame to find it the easiest. Regular trading hours, make it even easier. And here's our 3:30 candle close. There's our gap fill. So same with the open price and the gap fill. We're really not going to be using them too much in our trading today. Unless we are able to open down here, that would be great. Because right now our opening price and gap fill price are above us. Now, even though we tap this gap fill right now, that doesn't count as the gap fill happening because it only counts from the New York close till the New York open. So whenever we open at 9:30, that's what's going to give us our potential gap fill, right? So if we do open down here, we could probably check our stats and see what are the odds that we fill the gap fill. Let's go to gap fill ES. 0.26% is the size of the gap fill so far. It does the math for me. We're looking for 100%. Gap downs are every other, so not as strong as a gap up. Check this out. Gap ups, they're filling like crazy. Crazy. Every time you get a gap up, filled. Gap downs are sort of hit or miss at the moment, but what can we do? Well, we could look at by size, and it said this gap that's forming is a 0.28, so we'll go to the 0.20 to 0.39. That'll also give us some room. Gap down filled. Okay, well, now we're looking at a 64% chance. That's pretty good. That's in our odds, in our favor. So if we could get near this demand zone, or maybe even we open above the demand zone and then push into it, I'm going to be looking for longs targeting that gap fill price. And because of the gap fill price, I'm actually able to target this next level of buy side liquidity, right? Now this is the next internal pivot. So I might want to target that internal pivot on my long positions, and I'll probably look for my long positions somewhere in demand depending on where we open. Hit a quick screenshot of that. I like that. I like this setup. Okay, that way I can do right up for you guys and we can see what are we looking at on ES and why are we taking that trade. So ES, S&P 500. We have been in a very strong bear trend for the past month or so. However, we created a demand zone yesterday, and I would like to see if we could trap sellers by finding long positions in demand to target the gap fill. Great. A bear trend. Some key levels we're looking at. Well, we have the demand zone. And that's at, did I even mark it out? I don't even think I marked it out. Should I just make the supply and demand price levels black with the numbers like in the middle? That way the list I have, I could cut it in half. Nah. I like it like this. Demand 15 minute. That's at 55.69. 50. Supply. Now listen, if we do end up getting a nice long position inside demand and we get good buying pressure, not fake BS volume, good strong volume with follow through, it's showing it on Bookmap, the CVD's pushing green, then we could possibly hold this long position until supply. So that would also be the next target on those longs if we're able to hold. Supply, 15 minute, 56.22. Gap fill is 56.02. 75. Awesome. Edge full. Gap downs. Size 0.20 to 0.39%. Fill 64% of the time. Okay, awesome. Awesome. That's what we're looking for on ES. I'm hoping we can open below ES. I'm hoping we could hit this demand zone before we hit the gap fill price. And that'll be my trade then. If we could get that, that'll be my long trade on ES. Now let's take a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ's going to be another story. So we'll start with the daily. Delete our old orbs. You see that we're making lower lows, lower highs, bear trend. Now something I do note on NASDAQ is we have our basing candle right here, demand zone wise, and we have our rally candle. Now the rally wasn't the strongest, but it did break that previous day high. So my question would be, again, if we're finding longs on ES, it would need some type of support or longs on NASDAQ. Therefore, if we could create our basing candle here, we have our rally already, I would look for this candle to continue. So I would really need to see equities take a strong move higher, right? We need the whole market to be bullish at this point for us to reverse. Now, sometimes CPI data that came out yesterday, PPI data that came out today, sometimes these are the datas we need to reverse, to get in that right direction. So we're going to take a look. We're going to be patient. Let's check the 30-minute time frame for any possible supply or demand zones. Possibly this zone right here, very small zone. I'm not a big fan of this one because well, it's okay. You know what, I do like this one because check it out. If we're looking at it, held as support, 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 overnight again, support. So this is a pretty strong level. I'm going to add my alert there on NASDAQ. We're around 1940. 1940. Now, I don't see anything on Bookmap. I wonder if TradeMap Lite works on NQ too. A little bit. Not too crazy of a help. 19,500. There we go, 19,500. Pretty strong level. Yeah, it's cool. We'll take it. We look at ES. Looking at NQ right now. See if we have any new supply zones up here we might have formed. But we're too wicky and we didn't get a strong move. So, not going to really have a supply zone up there. So, we're going to delete, or at least change this zone up. We're going to make this an AO. Oh no, we have that. Perfect. We're going to make this one an AOI, area of interest, and I'm actually going to lighten it. That way I'm not too focused on it, because I want to be aware of it, but I don't want to be too consumed by it because it has been ran through a few times. Now, we do have a new supply zone right here on the 15-minute time frame that did work already once right here overnight, it looks like. So that's a valid supply zone we're going to be keeping an eye on. GC, got you, bro, got you. Let's see. So 15-minute here on NQ, and that's what I'm looking for on NAS. Let's head back to gold real quick. I mentioned gold, probably looking for longs, right? We were able to reject. We tried rejecting this daily supply zone 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and each time buyers stepped back in except for this last push. Now this last push was our manipulation lower until we were able to create this lower high and break it and push higher. So I would like to see long positions somewhere below our opening price today. That would be pretty huge. Like if we could retest this red zone, this daily supply zone, and that is right in here. So that would require us to sweep under this 1 hour demand zone. We could see if we have anything else underneath it that could be supporting. A little bit of a 4 hour demand. We can mark that out. That way it at least gives us a stop loss, gives us an idea of a stop loss, which would be the bottom of the demand zone, which is still below the opening price, which is exactly what I was looking for. So that's the D4 hour. Guys, make sure you hit that like button if you're chilling here on YouTube. We gotta change this, make that, oh, that is brighter? Damn. So yeah, if we could come into this area again, we do have this pre-market low right here from 3:45 a.m. If we want to sweep that low, sweep that opening price, find some long positions below open on gold, target new high a day, that would be great. Now I wanted the sweep of this price level. We're going to make this like black. We're going to make it sell side liquidity. I'm going to broaden it, and I'm even going to like dash it. That way I really don't miss it, you know what I'm saying? And I would like a nice long position and target new high a day. That would be pretty fire, right? We're looking for buyers to continue. If we look at the stats, let's look at the stats on gold right now. We're going to look at the gold stats on the performance by weekday. And today's Thursday. So, okay, so Thursday's not the strongest, but it's not the weakest. Monday looks like it's the weakest when it comes to bullish days. It's not the weakest on the bearish days either. That would be Wednesdays. So what about green and red days by weekday? Today's Thursday. This is the second most green days, right? So Tuesdays and Thursdays have the most green days in the past 6 months in the New York session. Let's check the daily session. Shouldn't really change it too much. Yeah, still the same. It does make it the third most green days now, but still 64% of the time is a green day on gold in the past 6 months. The streaks, only the last two trading days have been green. Before that, we had some reds. But I would like to see us continue. Let's take a look at crude oil dipped back into our 15-minute demand zone. We take a look at crude on Bookmap 2. We're going to leave crude alone. Did crude take previous day high out? I think it did. It did, but crude's been very range bound itself, and right now we're near the top of that range. So I'm not as confident as I would be on gold. See, gold's trying to pull back lower. Perfect. CVD is still green on crude. Now, CVD is the cumulative volume delta. That's if the volume is currently bullish or bearish. Right now, it is bullish total. So let's see. ESNQ is waiting for these as well. Let's check out the NASDAQ gap fill. See where an NQ's gap is. It's going to be right here. And let's check out its opening price too. I would like this 15-minute candle right here for a basing if this candle closed somewhere higher up here. But we have 26 seconds left. We do have some buying pressure here, but for 20 seconds, if we can move 20 points in 20 seconds, which I guess isn't the most out of the ordinary, then maybe. But now it's 10 seconds, and I don't think we're going to get those 20 points. Nope. Don't get me wrong, it's still possible. I just don't like it. And same with crude. Look at crude's sort of dumping right here. We'll take a look at crude on Bookmap, and we see we do have a pretty strong price level right here. But we might dive through. So I'm not taking anything on crude till I have some more confirmation. We have these negative deltas on our way lower too. And we don't have much information on crude volume wise. We really only have our chart from when we opened it at like 8:30. ES and NQ somehow have more information. I guess because they have more volume in it. So we're going to get that sooner than later. Here's gold. Take a look at gold. Gold just hit a fair value gap, I noticed, but that wasn't what I wanted to enter on. But, this is the key level. Look at this key level reaction we got right there. That's what we look for. We look for us to sweep a key level like this with good selling volume and then reverse after for a long position, targeting that recent pivot stop loss at this low. That's a little liquidity sweep. That's a little Bookmap setup. I'm not taking that trade, though. I don't trust it. It didn't line up with the zone I wanted. Volume is low down here, but look at all the negative delta, so we're going to just wait at the moment, not rush into anything. It is currently, it is 9:01, market opens in about 30 minutes, guys. I don't know, man. Gold does look okay here. It's just that wasn't in the trade setup, and I'd much rather be patient and wait for my trade setup. There we go, gold. Damn, son. Gotta trust the Bookmap levels. Bookmap is a phenomenal tool. Let's see. Take a look at crude again, see what crude's doing. Crude also, same thing, swept the level, had some volume, but I'm not trusting it. We're staying out of it, we're being patient. 30 minute, we just closed too, so we can see how the 30 minutes Now the 30 on gold does look like it might want to reverse back higher. But again, the best entry on gold would be below that open price. But right now, I'm not seeing any. Oh, 29.30. 29.30. No, that's way too deep. 29.30 is way down here. Yeah, we might find support here off of this key level, 29.49. Let's see. I'd like to see ES and NQ open below their gaps, which might not happen. Let's see. There we go. See crude oil with a dive through there. Now this yellow zone, very strong key level yesterday on crude. And the other day too. But I didn't see any demand zones in there. Not even like a 15. We have this pivot right here. These two pivots right here. Make them black. And then I guess we do have this little zone. Nothing crazy. But we'll mark it out just so we're aware of it. And again, just wait. Crude oil did take out previous day high, but if we're looking at the daily time frame or even like an hourly time frame, crude oil is coming off of the top of its range. So it's hard to be confident in longs here. Previous day high being swept doesn't mean anything if we're at the top of a range. But gold, on the other hand, broke out of its range and looks like it wants to continue higher. So that would be an easier trend to trade. So again, we're looking at gold today, guys. Gold and ES. Damn, man. Gold really found that support down there. Previous day high level. Test, test, test. Could have jumped in. Definitely could have, would have, should have on this one, but that's okay. We can't trade off could have, would have, should have. We can only trade off of our actual strategy, our actual system with actual probabilities. Did not have any probabilities coming off of this key level. We did have a 30-minute fair value gap, but to me, that was not worth taking. And that's just part of how I trade. That's okay. I missed a trade? No, I didn't miss a trade. I'm waiting for the next setup. Two fair value gaps on gold on the 15-minute time frame. Yep, one on the 15. We got one on the 30. Yeah, it's holding. It's holding for sure, for sure. Now at this point, if we do continue, we keep some good volume up here. We could look for a retest to go long. That wouldn't be chasing. That would be good and patient. Now originally my trade plan, so longs down here, it's 29.42 area. So we'll see how we react. We do have a negative cumulative volume delta right now. Now usually I would rather see a green CVD when I'm going long. But we're going to have to see. We'll wait and see. Take a look at crude oil, which is also dipping. Crude oil, any price levels? We do down here around 67 even. Now I'd like to see ES and NQ move lower. I don't want them opening near their gaps. I don't want them opening above their gaps. I want them opening below their gaps. I did mention though how the 30-minute looked like it could possibly have us rally. Yes, sir. Let's see. Now, crude oil, we had some good volume on this drop right here. Look at this. This is a 9 o'clock candle. Good volume down here and a strong drop. We created a bit of an imbalance, so we can mark those out as well. Because remember, crude's coming off of the top of its range. Well, we have our demand zone here. We broke it. Now it's a supply zone. And key level would line up with 67.24. Oh, 67.24, very low volume shelf right there on the crude. I'm going to look for a short up in here. See that? I switched my trade setup. I was taking on crude, read the market, and this is sort of what I'm going to be looking for. So 67.24. Now, a bit of the same situation on crude. That we have a positive CVD, but we were pretty close to the reds. So, if we come up to this low volume area right here, 67.23, 67.24, I'm going to take a short. Put entry maybe towards like 67.22. That way we could let it react and then take the trade, not just jumping right on in. But I do notice a lot of times with these low volume profile trades, they tap and go. They're quick. So 67.24. If we get a retest of 67.24, I would be so happy. No optimal trade entry, that's alright. What's gold doing? Gold's trying to hold, that's alright. ESNQ. Just waiting, guys. Waiting. Waiting on oil to tank. It's funny, you would think tariff situation, everything going on in the economy, oil prices would go higher, because duh. But I don't know, man. Market's been reacting how it reacts. We can't control how it reacts. We can only be thoughtful and have our system and our plan for reacting to the reaction. There was like no volume traded in 67.24 area. So that's where I'm looking for crude shorts. Now, previous day high and low too. Previous day low is in demand down here. That might be a pretty solid target. There are no other demand zones until this 2 hour down here. So this might be a pretty solid trade depending on the trade itself. We'll see. Looks like we're trying to squeeze here. Let's check our 15-minute and our other time frames. See if we do have anything else. We have a 45-minute basing right here. That's good. 90-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour, 2 hour basing candle right here for a supply zone, but we would need us to push lower and continue lower on this candle. So definitely looking for these shorts up here on crude oil. Just got to be careful. All trades, we got to be careful, guys, but we have to know our stats, our probabilities, our odds, and our risk, everything, and our setup. Now I might consider this demand zone 2946 a bit more strong because we just rejected right above it. So now we created sell side liquidity right above our demand zone. Trump says the US doesn't have free trade, we have stupid trade. The entire world is ripping us off. Come on, crude. Don't make us wait forever. Guys, let me know if you took any trades today. YouTube, if you're in here, hit the like. Discord, let me know, guys, if you guys have any questions. If you guys want to cover anything, you guys always let me know. Always feel free to reach out. Just a message away. The markets today, crazy train. We'll see. Markets haven't opened yet. We gotta see. Check our footprint chart. Let's see. Really wanted that 24 entry. 23, 24. Dear crude oil. Give me my entry. Markets open in 15 minutes, guys. All right, let's see.
I'm getting a late start anyway. Go.
Yeah, you're good, man. We're just chilling. Looking for some crude shorts here. Look at this. We have our 15-minute demand zone here, which we tried to hold as support. We broke it, which makes it into a breaker block. Now we have our breaker block, which lines up with our 15-minute fair value gap zone and our 5-minute fair value gap and our low volume shelf right here, 67.23, 67.24 on crude oil. This is where I'm looking for some shorts. Who wears short crude? I wear short crude. Let's see. We do have some buying accumulation here. And CVD has been, look at CVD, has not been moving lower. It's been squeezing and trying to push higher. While volume and price has been trying to move lower. Let's see if we have any other news oil-wise today. Today's, what, Thursday? EIA natural gas stock change. That's it. Thank you.
Salud.
What's that?
You say it in Spanish.
Oh. Salud.
Salud.
Alright, let's see, guys. Alright, YouTube, guys, I'm going to wrap up the pre-market prep. You guys make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Don't forget, join our community at bullishbrs.com. Do monthly or lifetime, whatever you guys want to do. And lifetime members, you do get access to my futures masterclass is now available.